Uh, Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to Geeks Watch. Today I want to talk about the film Yellowbeard, an image of which you will see here. um, Yellowbeard is a pirate comedy. It is essentially a reimagining of Treasure Island. A lot of similar plot beats with Treasure Island, but this is very outrageous, very silly. Excuse me. Outrageous and silly. The character of Yellowbeard, played by Graham Chapman, is one of the most ruthless and vicious pirates of the Seven Seas. Gets a treasure, hides it and buries it, and is caught for tax evasion, sent to prison for 20 years. He escapes, and hijinks ensue. Like I said, there are, Treasure Island has the same thing, while in Flint, Captain Flint dies, and Long John Silver looks for it in Treasure Island. But this is Yellowbeard escaping from prison, finding his treasure. He has a son named Dan from a tavern wench, who calls herself Mrs. Beard, considers herself Yellowbeard's wife by dint of having survived having slept with him. She claims Dan is Yellowbeard's son, although the boy has dubious parentage. We're not entirely sure whose son he is. She claims it's Yellowbeard's. So Yellowbeard wants his map. Dan is a quiet, bookish boy, no interest in piracy. So that's the kind of the opening of the film. And it just kind of gets outrageous, and they go out and try and find the treasure. There's hijinks, yada yada yada. There's a blind Pew character. So where it deviates from Treasure Island is that the captain who hid the treasure is alive, Captain Yellowbeard, and it has kind of some of the absurdist qualities of Monty Python, given that there are at least three actors from Monty Python in this film. Graham Chapman, John Cleese, and Eric Idle are on the film. It was a joint project. Is it Peter Cook? Yeah, Peter Cook. Peter Cook said that he was drinking. They were at Trader Vic's. Peter Cook, Kevin Moon, Sam Peckinpah, and Graham Chapman all having dinner and drinks at Trader Vic's, and they were talking about making a pirate movie and being really enthusiastic about it. And kind of went on from there. They managed to get a script. They managed to get the film done. This film did not do well in the box office. It was kind of a flop. I kind of like it, but I also consider it one of those movies that's not very well done, but has enjoyable moments. From my perspective, the worst character is Dan, and he's the main character, Dan Yellowbeard. So, and that's unfortunate. Again, I don't think it's the actor's fault. He was just written poorly. The script had to go through multiple revisions. A lot of people weren't happy with it, and there was just problems with production. Graham Chapman is a great outrageous actor, not necessarily a great outrageous writer. His performance is some of the funniest on the screen, and this film is like comedy royalty. There are so many comedians of the day. When was this made? Doobie 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 doo. Where's the date on this sucker? It's only 97 minutes. Date's on gotta be here somewhere. 1983, man, a while ago. But I mean, the names attached to this: Graham Chapman, Peter Boyle, Cheech and Chong, Peter Cook, Marty Feldman, Eric Idle, Madeline Kahn, John Cleese. What's the guy's name? I can't. His last. I know he's on here, but I can't remember. Anyway, there's some other guy who's like a famous actor, famous comedian. His last name is Bull. Anywho, But I mean, with this many comedians on the set and involved with the script, you would think this would be a smash hit, but they just couldn't make it work. I mean, this film has the largest ensemble cast of comedians of its day. You know, I mean, very few. You know, this is just comedy royalty here, and they're all in this film, and some of them are delivering amazing performances. But it's those little tiny bits that are great. The overall story as a whole doesn't really gel very well. You know, you can accept that from films like The Holy Grail and The Meaning of Life, because they're actually kind of tight when you think about it. This film just isn't very tight. So, yeah, it's got really bad ratings on stuff like Rotten Tomatoes and things like that. But I like this film, but it's one of those films that I admit is bad, even though I enjoy it. You know, I love Graham Chapman's performance. He's got some of the best lines because he loves mayhem and murder so much. Yellowbeard loves mayhem and murder so much, and Graham Chapman just plays it to the hilt. The other, like, John Cleese's performance is great. You know, some of the other actors too. Just there's such some really good performances here. The script just didn't have it. So it's kind of unfortunate that you had this much comedy talent and still couldn't put together a good movie from this script. This was also, there were 3 actors who, this was their final film. I don't remember the names of the other 2. One of them is a guy whose name I can't remember, something Bull. But this was Marty Feldman's last film. He actually died before his final scenes were filmed. He died of a heart attack. But they only had like one more scene to film with him. And it was, oddly enough, where his character, I won't say it, but it was somewhat ironic. They filmed it with like his stunt double. And the film is dedicated to Marty Feldman. And I always loved Marty Feldman's performances. He is one of my favorite comedic actors of this time period, because he is another one of those outrageous, goofy characters who plays outrageous, goofy characters. I don't know if I would recommend this film to people, other than as a curiosity. You know, like I said, it's not the best film. Aside from the few performances that I've named, it's just a mediocre film that I happen to enjoy. So, as always, thanks for watching. As always, my stuff is crap. And until next time, good hunting.